Today, part seven, the final prep of putting together the Volkswagen Rabbit pickup truck. Last year I drove it home 2 years ago now. Last winter I spent refreshing it. I didn't pull the motor or the transmission. The clutch was very weak, but I just went through and fixed up the wiring and cleaned and replaced tires, upgraded suspension components, stuff like that. This year, I decided I was going to do the clutch, and the clutch turned into, I decided I wanted to put a 5-speed in it instead of the regular old 4-speed. And then that turned into, let's get rid of the old tired 1.6 and put a rebuilt 1.8. And then that became, maybe let's put a little bit of a performance modifications on it. And I do mean a little bit. I have installed a larger cam, a G-grind European camshaft in this thing. So just a little bit more power than stock. I think the original GTI engine was 90 some odd horsepower. I'm going to guess this one's hovering right around 100, which for modern era cars is nothing. I mean nothing. But for a car of this vintage, this was considered a hot hatch, or in this case, a hot micro truck. So today I wanted to just show you the progress that I've made. I'm going to lower the car down, show you around the engine bay, and also show you the engine because the engine's done and ready to go back in. In fact, this weekend, I'm going to install it. It won't be running this weekend, and of course I'll be filming parts of that as well, but it'll be getting a lot closer. So let's take a look. First I'll show you the engine, then we'll lower the car. I'll show you where it's going to go. Well, here is the motor, and it's a beauty. As you can see, I kept the original, somebody before me had put a chrome kit on it, so it has chrome valve cover, chrome front cover. I loved it. I left it. It looks beautiful. All the hoses have been replaced. And everything, the engine block sanded, repainted, the head dipped and redone. Solid lifter 1983 GTI head. This is a non-air shrouded head. Put the G-grind cam in for a solid lifter head and adjusted the valves. And guess what? I filmed a lot of this job and I thought about filming that, but there's like 2 people left in the entire country who are probably interested in learning how to adjust the valves on a manual or a valve shim adjustment, so I just decided to skip that. But new water pump and water pump assembly down there, new thermostat obviously, polished all the oil filter housing there, distributor, new cap, new rotors, new Bosch premium wiring set for there. Around the side, new sensors. I do have a replacement vacuum sensor here. That one broke when I took the engine out. ECT sensor's been replaced. Up here, the addition for my temperature gauge inside the car, electric temp gauge. New seals all the way around, new head gasket, new valve cover gaskets. Holy cow, lots of stuff there. On the back side, you can see painted everything that wasn't already cleaned and polished the intake manifold here. Ported and polished the throttle body intake, and ported and polished both the intake manifold and the exhaust manifold, so that's going to give it a nice little pep. If you remember some of my earlier videos, I had a chrome 4x2 header that I was going to use, and it's not the right one for this car, so nope, I'll be reselling that. But I still have the 4x2 downpipe. This was the desirable exhaust, and it's still in great shape, so I'm just going to go ahead and reuse that. Go around the front. New oil pan. The oil pan on this one was really rusty, so got a brand new one there. That's really nice. Then in the front here, alternator was still good. It was rebuilt sometime before I purchased it. Like I said, polished that. Haven't installed that yet. It kind of gets in the way when you reinstall it, so I'll wait until it's on to put that pulley on. New belt, new timing belt tensioner, and of course, new motor mounts all around. For those of you who are really into Volkswagens, EGR delete, which the EGR I would have reused, but the hose was broken, so I just welded that shut. Put a block-off plate here that I made. And here we had our anti-backfire. I don't even know why they had it. Some cars had it, some didn't. There was a hose that ran down, wrapped around. There was a little valve, mechanical valve, and then it went to the other side of the intake. I removed that. There was just no need to have that on the car, and it kind of cleans up the look. But yeah, the car is looking sharp, man. Like this engine, a lot of love, a lot of time, a lot of effort getting it just right. And I hope that when it fires up and it runs smoothly, you guys are going to get to be a part of that as well. And of course, this summer I'm planning to take it on another big trip. I want to put, I'm still working on trying to find the time for a camper cap. And it looks to me like I may end up just remounting the original cap, the one that I drove across country with the first time. But that may or may not happen. We'll see. If I had the time and I just feel like I'm going to run out of it, we're only about 8 weeks out to really good camping weather. I don't have time to build a camper for it this year, so maybe next year we'll get the camper on this, but that's that. So let's go take a look at the engine bay and the engine compartment. All right, this is kind of weird because I'm standing, down on the floor here, and here's the engine above us, or where it's going to go. But cleaned and painted. If you recall, this was all black. It had that Volkswagen factory coating on it. I hated that. Took all the wiring harness out, retaped it. Well, as much of the harness as I could. Some spots I had to leave in there just because the clips and everything are so ancient. Cleaned and painted. Replaced the master cylinder, cleaned and painted the brake booster. Did not replace these two hoses. Hope I don't live to regret that. But if I do on the road, like if these hoses blow out, I could just bypass, put a little L in there and bypass it. So I don't need heat in the summer anyway. Coil packs here. This didn't come out great, but it did come out. I mean, I'm still not displeased with it. Over here, and you'll probably never see man, isn't that sweet? Those towers usually rust on these cars, and this one just is in sweet shape. So over here, reinstalled the washer pump already. Just clean, man. You can see this car's been loved before I got to it. Certainly getting loved now. Down here, new boots on the steering rack. Steering rack bushings have been replaced. This I'm getting ready to replace. I have the 5-speed linkages all the way back. I need to swap out this weekend. Bushing. This boot was okay, so we reused that. And then the brake lines, yeah, some of them I painted. I know I could go all out and have taken all this stuff off and painted it the right color, but this isn't like a restoration for resale. This is a restoration for use. I'm going to own this probably well through retirement, pretty much till I'm too old to really enjoy cars anymore. So I want to make sure that it was just clean and pretty for me, and that it wasn't going to rust out because some unseen spot that wasn't cool. Yeah. All right, let me get back over here. All right, here's the transmission, 5-speed, I can't remember, FG, FN, something like that. 5-speed, tall overdrive, 0.71, I think, is the overdrive final ratio on this. So it should be nice and quiet on the highway, unlike the old one, which was just screaming on the highway all the way across country. This one's pretty good. Cleaned it, but as you can see, did not polish, didn't go crazy. This one was fairly dirty when I purchased it, but I got it fixed up. New seals in the front, new seals or new bearing in the back here for the transmission seals, all been replaced. And I've got a new bushing kit for it when I put it back in. And of course, the entire reason that I started this project, a brand new clutch pack, Sachs clutch pack, 190 millimeter clutch pack for this one, I believe it was. Didn't go upsize on that, just went with stock. I'm not going to be pulling a ton of weight with this thing. But there it is. Let's wrap this baby up, and who knows, part 8 might have seen me driving it with a raging, super-powered sports sedan, right? Sports engine. So that's it. Quite a lot of work. Quite a lot of work, I won't lie to you. If I could do it again, would I do it? No, I wouldn't have done it. I would have left it the way it was, just popped the transmission out and done a clutch job. I would have had the car back on the road on the weekend, and I would have enjoyed it for the last couple months, although I don't drive it when there's salt down on the roads. So it still would have sat most of the winter. But no, I don't think I would have done it. No, the car was in really good shape. The engine was good. I mean, it was working. And I hate pulling a motor that's not blown or has spun a bearing or something like that out, because we always run the risk. I've been doing this most of my adult life, actually all of my adult life, most of my teen life as well. But there's always the risk that I've screwed something up, and then that would bring us right back to day one, where I have to take the engine back out and start over again. And that means I would miss the whole summer of driving with this great little classic Volkswagen Rabbit pickup truck. So it'll happen. I'm glad that I'm on the downside of it. It tied up a lot of my free time, and as a farmer and a guy that works in town now, and all the other stuff I have going on in my life, it's hard to find the time to do a project like this. So I probably would have done a lot of other cool stuff this winter. You all know, if you've watched the channel, all three of you who are still here, that I've done a lot of like review type stuff, real quickie stuff, and I haven't really gotten into the passionate stuff, the stuff that I really truly enjoy. Hopefully when this finishes up and the weather turns nice again, I'll be outside and doing the stuff that I love, and that'll show in the work that I produce. Anyway, that's it for today, my friends. Take care.